time for some tea with tea on this Talk Therapy Tuesday. I'm Tanya McLean-Nicholas, licensed marriage family therapist and owner of Renewed Hope Counseling. Unexpected loss of any kind can be devastating, especially if it occurs when you least are expecting it. And it's the loss of something or someone that really matters to you. We all experience death at one point or another in our lifetime. Maybe even experience loss of a job or a chance at that promotion. But the death or loss I'm referring to today is relational loss, the abrupt disconnection to something that you really value, friendships, romantic partners. This loss can tear your entire inside up, especially when that loss comes without notice and an abrupt halt. This makes it even more difficult to accept and move forward. We refer to this as having closure. Closure is the desire to have an answer or some type of understanding in the midst of uncertainty. It's giving meaning and resolution to something in order to move on. And closure has several benefits, like it aids us in our personal reflection and growth. It resolves any lingering negative feelings and emotions that we may have. It can give you back a feeling of control in situations where it's just totally out of your control. The brain has a need for closure in order to process feelings and take that sting out of that "what just happened" feeling that we get. Because our brain has a need for understanding, the urgency may motivate you to create a narrative that may be incorrect, all for the purpose of stopping whatever negative emotions come up as a result of that loss. Now, for some people, they have a high need for closure, and the absence of closure can disrupt their mental processing and ultimately disrupt their peace of mind. On the other hand, some people may say they don't need closure to move forward. Well, I'm going to give you both sides to that story. So go ahead and grab your tea or your coffee, whichever you prefer, and let's dig in. So here's the question. Is having closure a necessary part of moving forward? Well, yes. However, that closure may not come in the fashion and form that you prefer. When it comes to relational losses, offering someone a closure conversation is probably one of the kindest, most compassionate things that you can offer. However, too often that does not happen. Not everyone believes that others are deserving of this conversation or feel it's worth their time. Not everyone has the skills or emotional intelligence to enter into uncomfortable, difficult conversations. And some people are afraid what they may learn in those conversations, and therefore they just avoid them altogether because it's easier. At least it's easier for the person who may have initiated that abrupt halt. But for the person on the other end, it may be the beginning of an emotional spiral. But is there times in relational losses when closure conversations are not helpful? Absolutely. Will knowing that they ghosted you to spend time with someone else be helpful? Will hearing how much a person lied, cheated, manipulated, used you make the pain less great? Or hearing there's no connection, respect, or love for you make you feel more valuable? Probably not. We look for these conversations in order to make sense of the loss, sometimes to renegotiate the loss, and many times just to walk away believing the relationship meant something and you didn't waste your time. If having those closure conversations were really helpful for personal growth and self-reflection, then it would prevent instances of repeating choices and behaviors in the future. And many times it doesn't do that. The truth is, you may never get a closure conversation or closure in general from someone else because they may refuse to communicate with you, or may not get closure from a situation because the opportunity is just not going to present itself. Whichever it may be, closure will be something you can only give to yourself. The healing will have to be self-initiated and self-inspired. And you can start this out by writing everything that you wanted to say out on paper. Write out your feelings and your perspective of the situation. The writing will help you to slow your thoughts as well, give you opportunity to make some connections between what happened in the relationship, your own behavior, and even how it ended. This may give you the clarity that you were hoping to get from someone else who cannot or just simply will not give it to you. Now take another opportunity to write it out again. This time I want you to change the narrative and focus on the gains, the blessings, the growth that you got out of it, and approach it with a spirit of gratitude. With losses, always remember comes lessons and future blessings. Take time for meditation, get in a quiet space and breathe. This will clear your mind and open up your heart. This allows the emotions to dissipate and give you clear thoughts that will help guide your steps for resolution and closure. For my believers, you recognize that prayer will assist you in regulating our emotions, comforting our hearts, and receiving the true wisdom that we need on how to proceed. Reframing any negative thoughts will also help. Changing the thinking from, how could they do this to me? Or how can this happen to me? These thoughts take the form of negative, unhelpful conversation that leads to further injury. You may also want to take note on how this dialogue may have created negativity within the relationship. Affirm and empower yourself with, I'm in control of my emotions, my actions, and my reactions, and not responsible for the decisions and choices of others. This type of dialogue will help you reclaim ownership of your own story. If the opportunity presents itself for you to get closure through someone else, that'd be a gesture of kindness and compassion. However, you may never get that, and you shouldn't wait for it in order to move forward. But you can try to get closure by creating your own peace and happiness, moving forward from there. And that includes with whom you share that peace and happiness with in the future. Well, that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed your tea with tea on this Talk Therapy Tuesday. I'm Tanya McLean Nicholas, and I hope that you have a beautiful day.